You have to balance the mentality of knowing that you have full control of your life and life is unpredictable. I'm a big person on belief. I'm tricking myself to believe in what I'm doing every day. I'm tricking myself to believing I'm going to achieve my goals. I'm always tricking myself because I understand for things to be possible, I have to first believe it. But I also have the balanced mindset to understand life is unpredictable. And I understand that life is always going to put me on the right path that is meant for me. All I can do is live in my passion and things will come. And sometimes I think this mindset can kind of get confusing because I'm telling you to believe in what's going to happen, but I'm not telling you that you'll be able to know each step in your life. There's a lot of times in my life where I thought I knew where I wanted to go, and really that's not where I needed to go. And then it shifted me to somewhere else. But because I was passionate, because I was committed to a life of doing what I loved, I was always open to finding other things I loved. And another thing I wanted, there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to this mindset. I want you to know that you can have more than one passion. I sometimes I'm afraid I'm telling y'all that you only got one passion. You can have more than one passion, and your passion doesn't even have to be something people understand. It could be a mix of two things that generally is one passion. It could be a lot of things, but understand that you don't have full control and you do have full control, if that makes sense. So I can live in my passion, but also understand that life is going to take me on a different route. And understand, just because you believe in it doesn't mean it's not going to happen because life takes you on a different route. Continue to believe if you know that's what you're supposed to do. Just understand you might have to take a couple extra steps than you expected. And when you get there and you maybe took a step that you didn't expect, that maybe even got it quicker to your goal, understand it's not luck. I'm a big believer on there's really no such thing as luck when it comes to like achieving your goals, because I'm a big person on I put myself in this situation, so therefore I reap the rewards of this situation. If I keep shooting a basketball a billion times and then it finally goes in, it's not luck. I just shot it long enough so the percentage would give me the shot to go in. The example I had written down before this was to say, like, if you were at a basketball court and you're just shooting full court shots up every day, you're just shooting them up and you can't get one to go. And you never hit that shot. And you're like, I know I'm meant to hit this shot full court. I know it's a weird metaphor, but you're just shooting the basketball. And one day you go in and the court's demolished. The court is demolished. There's nothing you can do. You'll never be able to shoot that ball in that court. And so you really wanted to hit the full court shot, but you can just go to another gym and you shoot it some more and eventually it goes in. So you tell me if that's luck. One, your life got put on a different path. You had to go to a different court, but you kept shooting regardless. And sometimes in our lives, we think, I'm going to make this shot on this basket. But there's always a different arena that you might have to do it in. There's always a different way you might have to do it. There's always a different path for everything. But understand that you don't control everything, but you control what you believe in. And I'm a big believer in that. And sometimes you might believe you're going to get somewhere. You might believe this is what I want to do. This is my purpose. But understand you have to live through passion. y'all heard me, I'm big on finding your passion before you find your purpose, because your passion will lead you to your purpose. And so for me, I grew up, y'all know me. If y'all know me in terms of college, I majored in sport and rec management. And coming out of high school, I wanted to work in sports. That was my MO. I wanted to work in sports. I was gaining experience in sports. I kind of mentioned it earlier in the podcast, but basically I wanted to work in sports. And going into my sophomore year, I think it was a year ago, I'm a junior now. And I was applying for internships going into the summer. And that's what I wanted to do. That's what I thought was my next step to achieving my goals, which I thought was my passion. But life gave me a curveball. COVID-19 happened. It gave everybody a curveball. And I was like, what am I going to do? Because I'm not the type of person to just sit there on my butt. I was like, what am I going to do? And you know what life really said? You got something bigger in your life. You got something more important in your life, something you will love even more. And now I'm sitting here on, what is this, the 8th episode, 7th episode? You know what I'm saying? If COVID-19 didn't happen, I wouldn't be here right now. Now, I could have said, man, I thought I had full control of my life. I thought I was living in my passion. I thought this is what I believed in. Why is it not happening, Jamar? Jamar said on the Root of Everything podcast, if I believe, it'll happen. But you have to believe in your passion. You have to believe in the process. And my process was derailed for a better highway, faster route to where I really needed to be. And now I'm doing what I love. I'm doing something I love 10 times more than what I was doing before. But I couldn't see that unless life was unpredictable. And life is unpredictable. And now I'm here. So I want y'all to understand, when you're going on these journeys with your life, that you can have more than one passion. And you can have a passion that you think is your it, and it really isn't. I used to play baseball every single day of my life since I was little. I went back home for Christmas break, and I picked up a bat for the first time in 2 years. I'm not saying I don't like baseball, but it's not my purpose. So when you're living in passion, not just your passion, but when you're living in passion, you're open to all passions. And I never thought I'd be sitting here in front of a camera with a microphone with lights on both sides. I'd be speaking on a podcast about living your passion. Not in a million years. I used to think all the time, what am I going to do when I grow up? And now as a 20-year-old, if I was looking back on 10-year-old Jamar, I'd be so proud of myself because I just let it happen. I was just being passionate. I let that thing happen. And sometimes we get caught up in trying to fulfill that title that the world is trying to put us on. But understand that life is unpredictable. But you have to believe first to achieve your dreams. But understand things can happen and trust the process. Be passionate, love what you do, and life will put you on the path right for you. So that's it. That's all I got for the Root of Everything podcast this week. I hope y'all enjoyed it. We'll see y'all next time. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Root of Everything podcast. If you enjoyed any moment, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and rate us on all podcast platforms. And don't forget to go to our website, rootofeverything.com, and hit our button, Weekly Root, for our weekly newsletter of all our content.